All right, guys, welcome. This is the ESL One Hamburg 2017 NA qualifier here for the major. It looks like this might not be ticketed somehow, but no problem. I think we're good. Anyways, I am your caster. I am Moxie. I am joined with the very talented Forge Dota, and I'm super hyped to be casting this match today.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for the lovely introduction, as always. And I am trying desperately to figure out who everybody is in this lobby that isn't PPD and BTY.
Yeah, they definitely don't have their professional names listed here, so this is gonna be some fun stuff.
Yeah, gonna be interesting. But moving on to the draft, we've got some pretty standard bans coming out from both sides. Nature's Prophet, pretty much no team wants to deal with his shenanigans right now, as well as obviously the Venomancer and the Lich as well getting banned out. No surprises there. And we're going to get a Night Stalker first pick. Pretty standard stuff across the entire scene right now.
Well, I mean, this is what we were talking about earlier in the day when we were covering Team Effect versus
Spartak
there. But this is the patch of the green gross guys. You know, you've got Venomancer, you've got, Viper's very, very popular right now. Obviously, Necrophos has been gracing itself either in every game as a ban or a pick, and we saw how disgusting that is with an Ancient Apparition. In fact, there's an Ancient Apparition pickup right now here from the side of the Dire. So he's been seeing a lot of play lately, especially during that laning phase. Having the chilling touch is really just disgusting. But we get a little bit of a global strat coming out from the Dire here. Both supports picked up in phase 1.
Yeah, two pretty aggressive supports as well. Spearbreaker and AA. AA less up in your face, but a lot of damage, a lot of slow, a lot of control. And, Night Stalker, a pretty beefy early game hero, likes to roam, likes to just be all up in your face. But Spearbreaker and AA, pretty good at dealing with that. Night Stalker has a lot of starting armor, but the chilling touch means that you get some extra magic damage to help cut through that tanky Night Stalker.
Well, I mean, the other thing you have to watch out for, if you're an Ancient Apparition, you cannot be alone, because that Night Stalker is swiggity swootin' for that bootin'. So definitely a nice pickup with the roaming here for the Night Stalker. We do get a Mirana pickup, and now I know we've been seeing this quite a bit in the CIS region as a mid. What are your thoughts on this, though, Forge?
I mean, it is still a flexible pick. It's something that can be run as a support, but the meta that we're kind of seeing is either mostly as the mid, or every once in a while you'll see a safe lane farming core. Now, Starboyz in the past have run this more as the mid hero, so I'd imagine that's where we're going to see it here. The new physical damage build is just really, really powerful and scales really hard. You get that 50 damage at level 20 and 100 attack speed bonus from Leap at level 25. It just makes you scale super, super hard into the late game.
We're seeing that Bloodseeker, though, banned out. We've been seeing that getting drafted quite a bit for the Dire. They won the King's Cup Americas as well. But we saw a lot of these heroes that were going to be able to buff CC and C, basically. They've been very heavily favoring that, obviously. You got the Ancient Apparition who can do the Chilling Touch, but the Bloodseeker was causing some big problems for a lot of the opponents over in King's Cup when it was picked up by the Dire.
Yeah, CC and C, definitely one of those players that you have to always keep in the back of your mind as one of those playmaking heroes. Lots of different flashy mids that he likes to play. The Puck, the Quap, especially the Templar Assassin as well. Lots of these flashy, high impact mids. So anything that can buff him up, it's going to be really, really powerful. And like you mentioned, AA, Bloodseeker, a lot of these,
Yeah, we saw an Ogre pick up in another one of their games, although I doubt that we're going to see the Ogre unless the Spirit Breaker's going into the off lane. But I'd imagine that Spirit Breaker probably going to be doing some roaming, trying to get those early kills and snowballing. Yeah, in fact, that answers our question. We've got a Darkseer.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Desai Darkseer, and this gives a nice little bit of synergy. You throw an Ion Shell on a Spirit Breaker, he runs you down with Charge, and then, of course, the Empowering Haste on top of that. Just that consistent tick damage. It's also a slight little bit of Wombo combo. You get the Vacuum into Ice Blast later on in the game. A little bit harder combo to land than some of the other ones, but definitely some nice synergy on Team Dire, which I don't really think surprises anybody. It's PPD. He's well known for his well put together drafts.
Well, it's also funny that you mentioned, the fact that Spirit Breaker can get an Ion Shell on him, but I've seen some games where actually, they're doing a gank over on the enemy safe lane. You've got the Ion Shell on the Darkseer, the Ion Shell on the Spirit Breaker as well, and that's just, the double Ion Shell is just too much generally for a lot of heroes to deal with early on during the laning phase, and it's almost usually a kill every time, especially if you're able to get that vacuum off, get maybe a bash or two, but, yeah, definitely, some nice synergy here. Plus, vacuum into wall with an H apparition, Ice Blast thrown out. So I'm not sure if we're going to see something a little split pushy then come out from Starboyz here. Disruptor, though, a good counter against the Spirit Breaker, being able to just glimpse him back and say, yeah, no, I don't think so. Also, it's always hilarious when you see someone TP to their tower and then get glimpsed back, so...
Yeah, that's always fun, sending somebody back to Fountain or even to the other side of the map. But more than that, it's also kind of decent against the Darkseer as well, because you have the kinetic field that Surge does nothing for, as well as you already mentioned the glimpse potential both on Spearbreaker as well as the Darkseer. But we're going to see actually the CC&C Death Prophet get picked up here, which I mean, that's some early push potential if I've ever seen it. You got Darkseer with the mech, you've got Death Prophet with exorcisms, Spirit Siphon. It's going to be pretty hard to take down this team.
That's pretty scary too. Yeah, being able to kite as well using the Soul Siphon is going to be really good. Plus, giant AoE silence and the pushing potential, like you mentioned. This is going to be a very run-at-you sort of lineup, and I like it. Of course, we have been casting CIS Dota this morning, so we're kind of getting used to it. But we see an Ember Spirit pick up here for the side of Starboyz.
It's a pretty good counter against the Spirit Breaker, because you have the instant cast on Chains, which can, if timed properly, cancel out charge. You can dodge charge with Sleight of Fist or Remnant. It's also a nice way to, if you get an early enough snowball going, you can burst down that Death Prophet with this triple Remnant on top of her.
Also got a silence, though, coming out from this Death Prophet, which is a little bit scary for Ember Spirit. Not a whole heck of a lot of targeted stuns, though, and lockdowns for him. Spirit Breaker, of course, can get the occasional lucky bash, but they've really got no hard lockdown on the side of the Dire.
Yeah, I think if he just goes something like a Treads Yule's build, he should be okay. It's going to come down to a lot on his timings, and also which way he wants to build his Ember Spirit. Since, after the initial burst of Magic Ember Spirit, we saw a bit of the resurgence of the old physical damage build, so it's going to be interesting to see which way Starboyz want to go with that, whether it's going to be the Magic Burst, Veil, Maelstrom, Blink Dagger kind of build, or if it's going to be the old Battle Fury, Daedalus, right click Ember.
I don't know, but we're not going to see our favorite disgusting friend Necrophos here, or of course the Faceless Void, and no Nyx Assassin or Batrider will be seen in this game. So what do we have left here? What do they need? It looks like where do you think that Mirana's going, first of all? That's the million-dollar question.
I actually think that Starboyz might do something weird here and just throw a dedicated off-lane Night Stalker, do a support Mirana, and pick up their mid laner here, run the safe lane, run the Ember Spirit as a safe lane. It's a weird theory, but the Mirana doesn't match up super well against Death Prophet. Melee heroes have a terrible time against Death Prophet, so while it would be unorthodox, it definitely would give them the opportunity to set up a more favorable matchup against the Death Prophet. And as for what they'd pick for that, Puck wouldn't be... Oh, Puck's been banned.
Yeah, Puck was banned out really early on, too. They definitely don't want to see that little Fairy Dragon showing up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where they want to go with this, then, because if you have a Night Stalker Disruptor support duo, mid Mirana, safe lane Ember... That means they need an offlaner, somebody to start off their fights, I guess. Something like a Centaur might not be too bad.
Centaur's not a hero right now. The Sand King, though, is definitely a hero. We saw a lot of really nice, interesting plays coming out earlier this morning in CIS. It was Team Effect, right, that ran the Sand King?
I believe so, yes.
No. Yeah, no. It was,
what?
Oh, no, I can't remember because my brain is just not working from this morning.
It was Spartak.
It was Spartak, yeah, because one of their players, we kept mispronouncing his name wrong.
Yeah, Yoku.
Oh, no.
We kept
not Yoki. Yoku. That is, today we learned, guys. Today we got flamed by Twitch chat, and now we know for the future. But he played an amazing Sand King for the initiations coming out, and just being really, really patient for a lot of those timings. But we get a Lifestealer now over here as well for the side of the Dire, so a lot of that magic damage isn't going to be too much of an issue for
This doesn't really solve their we need to kill Ember Spirit problems, but it does solve their kind of the answer to the Starboyz draft of we have a bunch of magic damage, we have a lot of these spells. It's also a way to kind of deal with the glimpse potential. You just rage, you just walk away. Juggernaut kind of gets ran at a little bit too hard by the Night Stalker, so Lifestealer, a really nice supplementary core, or a substitute core, sorry, to swap out for that. And we'll also eat through the Sand King and the Night Stalker if he gets the chance.
Delicious. So this is, like we said, this is going to be really fun because everybody's names are not their official names. So apologies in advance, guys, if things get a little weird.
I mean, I know it's Misery on the Spirit Breaker. It's going to be PPD on the
well, see, the thing is, guys, we know who's on the Dire, right? Like, we've seen them playing. Everybody's been following them because, you know, everyone was super hyped with all these players. And nothing to discredit Starboyz here, but we tried to do some homework early on, and there is very little information about them online. We definitely tried our best, you know, and they've been doing, you know, tournaments. They did TI qualifiers, but this is going to be a little bit rough, so bear with us over here. We might just refer to them by their
hero names
to avoid, you know, ultra slamming.
Yeah, always the safe bet.
Sorry, Starboyz, we love you. Yeah.
And honestly, they don't have a, you know, for being, you know, maybe a lesser known team going up against, like you said, a pretty popular, pretty famous stack. They have themselves a pretty decent draft for dealing with that. If they get, you know, nice arrows onto the Lifestealer, rage doesn't matter. If they get good initiations, good static storms from the Disruptor, then Death Prophet can't get off her spells. She can't survive. So they do have the tools to run away with this game.
What's happening here? Why is everybody crowded up over here on the left side of the map here for the Dire? I'm very confused because no one's making any aggressive moves over on the side of the... This is very awkward to call the Dire team the Dire because the Dire's actually on the Radiant, so...
The problem is that both teams have a very aggressive draft, so both teams are making aggressive maneuvers, and both teams know that they have aggressive drafts, and so they're doing like this mirror where they're going to both grab 2 bounty runes, but kind of like a flip of normal. This is a
practice lobby. This is not ticketed, unfortunately. It looks like one of the admins, when he accidentally got his power cut off, well, the lobby was still there. The ticketing stuff is not quite correct anymore. That's why you guys can't see this in the client, unfortunately, guys. But now you're here with us. You get to listen to us ramble on and my screeching. It's wonderful. Already, though, we're seeing some movement coming out here, trying to put some pressure over onto the Ember Spirit and make some space for Death Prophet. I don't think she's too concerned about this, but helping secure a little bit more.
Yeah, she's got Crypt Swarm, which, if I remember correctly, yeah, does enough damage that level 1 Flame Guard just gets destroyed. So every time that this Ember Spirit pops Flame Guard at level 1, it's just going to get Crypt Swarmed away, and then it's going to be gone.
This is a very scary try lane down here, though. Aggressive try, rather. Yeah, we see the stun immediately coming out here, thrown out with the Chilling Touch. Looks like they're going to try to grab this Disruptor. Nice arrow coming in, actually, but the first blood going to go over onto the Spirit Breaker. Can they get more? Can they get... Again, he's trying really hard. They just need one more hit onto him. He pops the salve. It's going to actually be able to turn back around, and they can turn this kill. They might be able to get the Night Stalker trying to body block a little bit here, and they'll let the Spirit Breaker get... I believe that's a second kill? Yeah, that's a nice start for your roaming Spirit Breaker early on here.
Yeah, the Oov almost killed Pycat there because he couldn't salve with the Oov damage, but he's able to get enough distance that the Oov ran out. He salves up. Really nice turnaround and really good play from Team Dire. I'm just going to call them Team Dire instead of the Dire.
That sounds like a good idea because it's a little confusing otherwise. But yeah, no, I was mildly concerned there. It was looking very scary, like they were going to lose Pycat in the bot lane, but they were able to turn it around really quickly. And, you know, this is kind of tough for him down here. You've got a Mirana who's constantly going to be plinking at him. In fact, he's sitting at 2-1 right now for CS, so life's not super great right now for this Lifestealer. They're being very aggressive, but it ends up working out really well. We get 2 kills onto our snowballing. In fact, we get a charge coming out right over here immediately. Looks like Spirit Breaker. Nice pseudo dodge coming out here from the Ember Spirit. Sounded like it connected, but it didn't appear that way.
It works the same way as like puck phase shift, where the Spearbreaker will still connect with the remnant that the Ember Spear leaves on the ground, and it'll still make the sound effect as if it connected, but nothing will happen.
Ah, okay.
That's what happened there. So like if you watch like Spearbreaker and puck, he'll collide with where she phase shifted, but nothing actually happens. CNC though establishing dominance in this mid lane.
I mean, this is a pretty difficult lane for Ember Spirit to have to deal with, even without a Space Cow just randomly running through mid. But during all this, again, we get another kill, actually, in the top lane.
Yep, there's that Ion Shell on the Space Cow that we were talking about.
Well, you know, Zai's been sitting real low up here for quite a while, which has been a little scary because the Sand King really just poking away at him. But with that rotation, I think they were... I missed it on camera, unfortunately, but I think they did a little bit of a debate there. So, very nicely played.
This is an interesting skill build from Sand King as well, where he's gotten, instead of the Caustic Finale to help deal with the creeps, he's just going to Sandstorm in the middle of the wave. So these are two heroes that are basically just going to nuke down waves with their spells and then just kind of walk away. Ion Shell coming out from the Darkseer and Sandstorm from the Sand King.
4-minute rune actually does not show up top. CCNC, unfortunately, betting on the wrong horse. And the Disruptor has got himself a haste rune and will get himself a bounty rune too. That's always so good feeling. But it's nighttime. This is a little scary right now. In fact, the charge coming out here over onto the Mirana will actually connect over onto Night Stalker as well. Whoa, bash coming out. Immediately 2 bashes. What is this? What is this nonsense? They jump forward though. They've got their eyes over here onto PPD. They'll be able to kill him, but they'll also be able to take down this Mirana. And now it looks like Night Stalker in a little bit of trouble here. Trying to just put out some miss chances here, but he's still going to get taken down, and Pycat will be able to clean up here.
It was actually such a nice charge from Misery. He charges through the Night Stalker into the Disruptors to just A, get the extra damage onto the Night Stalker, and B, also kind of pester the Disruptor and make him not want to stick around. Because if he just charges the Night Stalker, then, you know, Disruptor maybe gets a couple extra auto attacks in, Spearbreaker falls a little bit lower.
Yeah, Spear Siphon coming out over here onto the mid Ember Spirit. He's able to go ahead throughout the chains. There's a bit of a dive, though. He's still going to get taken down here. Tries to destroy these ghosts, though. They've got his number. They want him, and it looks like this Space Cow also just not going to be able to make it out as well. So ghosts now have been used and committed here in mid. That is a bit on a cooldown now. It looks like she just turned 6 as well, so they were really trying to make something happen. But Ember Spirit coming back right at this moment. Needs to be a little bit careful. The Disruptor on the high ground will be able to throw out the cage here, and she's trying to Spirit Siphon her way through this. She might be able to get... Oh, she actually takes down Night Stalker. They turn themselves back around. Ghost actually going to heal her back up to full. That is not what you want out of that. That should have been... You know, that's 3 heroes, Forge, in mid, trying to gank 1 witch.
So here's the thing, Death Prophet hasn't really been popular in the meta lately, so people kind of forget how good of a spell Spirit Siphon is, but it's percentage-based damage and heal, right? It's like you're healing for as much damage as you're doing. So when she turns on the Night Stalker and it's got 780 HP, she's going to heal for a lot of, like a large amount. You add Exorcism on top of that, and that Night Stalker seriously underestimated how much damage she could output.
Man, I was waiting for the bashes to come out here from the Spirit Breaker because he has just been super duper lucky on these. Do have a Burrow Strike for it onto the Darkseer. He doesn't have any mana here, so he's not going to be able to search himself out. It looks like he's waiting for his Space Cow to come be his hero, and they will be able to go ahead get the kill. It looks like we're still going to lose Zai, though, in the process. And now Disruptor's like, oh man, I do not like this. This is not fun. He's going to get taken down as well.
Misery is just getting so much work done on this Spirit Breaker. It's insane. It's 6 minutes into the game.
Well, you know, the 2 kills bot probably set him up real nicely there.
I mean, there's been 9 kills for his team, and he's been part of every single one. He's 4, 1, and 5. He's been part of literally every kill on the map. I
mean, that's the dream for your position 4, is just get a lot of kills early and become just a very scary presence. Night Stalker coming through, boops the Death Prophet on the nose. Realizes he can't really do too much, is just going to try to run himself out. They're still going on this. They're actually committed. Misery was thinking about going for that charge. Will back himself out here. He actually runs through the Roche pit. And there's the Scions coming out yet again. They have another rotation. It's going to take 4 heroes to take CCNC down here in mid. And now it looks like Misery is going to try to lead him on a wild goose chase. Goes and chases after top. Gonna do a charge, try to help out his friend the Darkseer. Ion Shell coming out. They can turn this into a kill. Boop.
So CCNC definitely overextended there. Like, he definitely overestimated his tankiness, but he forced so much attention mid that his lifestealer, like, Highcat's just like, thanks, bro. Thanks for the assist.
That's more space, right? That's the nice thing about when you work on a team and make sure that, you know, you're all on the same page as you trust each other, that, you know, if one lane's not going super great, you're going to find space somewhere else and you're going to make things happen. And that's exactly what we're seeing coming out from Team Dire here. His lifestealer.
Are you suggesting that Dota 2 is a team game? Because that's insanity.
I mean, oh, look at that bash. One bash and I am dead. Bye, Night Stalker.
I almost wondered if CCNC was going to commit the exorcism or not. I almost think that they could have maybe taken the tower without it, but it would have just taken too long, so he says screw it.
Oh, PPD. PPD is the one melted ice cream cone here. The Cold Feet does proc though, and they'll go ahead, they'll run over after mid, try to take down this Ember Spirit double Ion Shell, like we talked about. Forge just melts people.
It's so much damage, it's not even fair.
Well, like he's got a max Ion Shell too. Like that's so much damage. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure.
And the
I'm not sure what
interesting
Starboyz does here. Like they're just kind of getting run over literally by Misery.
The interesting thing too, that I'm sorry, I just want to talk quickly about CCNC's skill build. He went max Spirit Siphon. Like he knew that Night Stalker was going to be a problem, so he's just like, all right, I'm just going to take 5.5% of your max HP per second. But yeah, in terms of what Starboyz does here, they basically have to wait until they get their ultimates and then they're extra online. There's still no level 6 Disruptor.
Oh boy, there goes Mirana. Misery should change his name to just Joy at this point, because that's what this game is looking like for him.
I mean, I think he's Misery because he causes
the misery? Alright, the Misery Doombringer. Got it. A little bit of action going on down here. They found the lifestealer, but they can't really do anything to him. Like that's some feels bad man stuff right there.
Yeah, he's actually going to go Midas. He had the armlet queued up earlier, but he's just like, I'm having a decent enough game. Why not? If this goes late, I'll just scale with you.
Right now, net worth standing 4.7 on Darkseer, 4.6 on our Death Prophet here. And next closest is Mirana on the side of the Dire for 3.5. Tied neck and neck pretty much with the Lifestealer. But
they set up this like aggressive tri-lane with the Mirana to try and harass the Lifestealer, and it just didn't work out for them.
Run, Zai! Run! Meanwhile, Misery getting more kills. So what else is new? The Space Cow. Look at Zai. He's just taking everyone's attention. They use the epicenter on him.
Like, look at what they have to commit just to kill Zai.
Just to kill Zai, and they get another kill over in the other lane. Like, Misery is just this scary being who's roaming the map at all times. Like, I don't even know how Ember Spirit isn't afraid to be here in mid, honestly, because the amount of damage that they can output, and you still got this Lifestealer in the bottom lane that just doesn't care. Like, he's getting his farm. Middle tower will get taken down. Ghosts were committed for this. It looks like they kind of want to fight into this, which is a little scary. It is nighttime, though. The Night Stalker coming forward, but the Space Scout will be able to back up over here. They need one more hit over onto Mirana, but she's actually going to be able to make it out, leap out with 68 hit points. Turning back around, Glimpse will put the mid player back over here. The mid player, CCNC, back over to the side, and they'll just leave this engagement. That is, yeah. I looked at his name for a minute and it wasn't registering as CCNC. I was like, the mid player. Thinking.
Yep. It's definitely not CCNC. But like, he's just in such a weird build. Like the standard Death Prophet build is...
There's the save coming in. They do finally take down Pycat, though. There's going to be a nice dash. Iron Shell doing a lot of work over onto Sand King. Now, Darkseer, he's stuck into this cage over here. We'll go ahead, use the wall, try to run himself through. Has a couple of illusions. Gonna try to run himself out here. There's gonna be a nice Ice Blast coming in, connects over onto our Night Stalker, and still Misery trying to find his way out. Can he get another kill? It looks like he's gonna be able to get it. It's gonna go over, though, I think, onto the Darkseer because of that Ion Shell, but that is a dominating 4-kill streak. Take it down there.
That's worth it. That's a 2K net worth swing almost. That's 100% worth it for them. Yeah, see, even the Ember Speed agrees with me. 100% worth it. But
space created for CCNC over here too, though. Just top of the net worth right now, 6.4. Take a look at the graphs. We're seeing a huge swing. It's so confusing seeing Dire when they're on Radiant, but the Radiant side, Team Dire, sitting at about 6K team net worth and about 3K in experience earned currently. So
there's a full pipe on CCNC. At 13 minutes into the game, he has treads, a null talisman, a wand, and a full pipe.
Dude, he is like the wealthiest person on this map right now. Looks like Misery was thinking about completing a charge. We'll just fake them out. Misery, where's your taunt? Like, that is the perfect moment where you're just like running at people, throw up the taunt, and then just walk away. Just like, yeah, nah, nope. I don't need this.
And Lifestealer does have his Midas online now. So.
Oh boy, CCNC though getting a little bit too confident here. They use the epicenter yet again. And that's totally worth it. Meanwhile, while this is all going down, they get the Ember Spirit though. What?
Yeah, CCNC got a little overconfident with that.
A little?
That pipe. I mean, he had a full pipe. I thought he was immortal. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was immortal. But they do chain stun him and get the silence down, so they were...
Zion a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, he is caught out. They will TP in the rest of the team, though. They want to try to save him. Stun's coming out, though. The Static Storm doing a lot of work. However, Misery runs forward. Looks like Lifestealer going to be able to go ahead, get a couple kills over here. Nice bash coming out again over onto Sand King. Can he get another bash? They need maybe just one more to slow him down. They don't have the open wounds just quite yet, and this Night Stalker is just so speedy. Oh, the double. Oh, and it changed from double damage to the invis there. That's not their sentry. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if that was their sentry, how mad you would be if you were that Night Stalker right now?
I'm honestly a little surprised that they don't have Dust because of the Mirana, but probably thinking it's just a little too early in the game to start investing in Dust, and they haven't really needed it before now. And of course, I mean, who predicts an invis room like that? But
S4 maybe, I don't know.
I mean,
the perfect rune at the perfect time.
S4 gets whatever he wants from
right?
at all times.
Gustav S4 Magnuson. What a lad.
It looks like there might be a smoke up from Team Dire, though. We got one on Misery. They're grouping up. They've got Exorcism, and yeah, there's going to be a 4-man smoke. Yeah, 4-man. Highcat's still farming away. And we are going to see the right-click Mirana build come out. She's got the Maelstrom, and they're actually going to smoke up on the actual Dire.
Now, this is really scary right now because they're running 5v5 pretty much. Although CNC at the top here, they do spot him, break the smoke, jump forward immediately from the Sand King. Nice Static Storm getting thrown in, followed up now with a beautiful Ice Blast. There's the epicenter coming in. They will be able to take down CNC. Can they get more? Oh, that fucking wall! What a throw here! Jumping back in, they're going to go ahead, pop their shrine. They've used the Mirana ulti as well. They want to go back in immediately. Ember Spirit follows up, but he needs to be careful here. The rest of his team is not here. They've got him. They see him. They've got that sentry ward. He's going to get frozen into place. Sand King tries his best to help his bro out, but he can't. Arrow coming in does land over onto Misery. We'll be able to take him down here, and now they're trying to go after poor Pycat. Pycat's crawling, limping his way through this wall, but he just can't get out. And surprisingly enough, the ice cream cone, last one standing.
Yeah, CCNC, again, with I think a bit of over-eagerness there, just walking right up the hill, despite his smoke popping, towards the enemy shrine. And yeah, somebody's pinging out the enemy
I believe
shrine,
that's Light of Heaven.
It's probably Light of Heaven. He loves pinging those out.
I believe he said he was sitting in the lobby. Yeah, that is, someone at TI, I think, brought him a picture of him pinging shrines and had him sign it. Like, we all get concerned when Light of Heaven is in a game and, does not ping shrines. We think, oh man, must be an imposter.
It's true, but there's gonna be a charge on the Disruptor now.
Yeah, looks like there's a jump forward. Our little Disruptor in a little bit of trouble here, trying to run himself out. This Urn Charge burning him down, trying to juke around these trees, break some ankles, but the rest of them still hot on the case. And down he goes.
So CCNC moving towards the more classic Death Prophet items now with the Yule Scepter. He deviated a fair bit because normally you just get phase into Yule and then you get your next item, but he went Treads, which is, I mean, it's nice stats, it's good survivability, but hasn't worked out for him, unfortunately. He's still gotten picked off a couple of times, so he's going to go back for the more traditional build now. But you were asking earlier, like, how does Starboyz come back in this game? How do they win this? It's team fights like the one they took around the Shrine. Now that all of their ultimates are online, they have to execute those fights. They have to get static storms onto CC before he ulties.
Oh, they canceled out.
Epicenters on top of the cores to kill them. Like, that's what they have to do to win this game.
They cancel out the TP bottom. I think they decided they just didn't want to go down. But we've got a smoke over here coming out from the side of Starboyz, so let's see if they can make something happen. The epicenter's back up. They have that blink dagger, 2 points in the epicenter again, so they could do some pretty good damage. But Sand King now is kind of very far forward. The rest of his team, smoke pops. They find the Darkseer. They use the epicenter again. They're able to catch him over here, throw out the static storm, keep him in the cage while everything else is going on here. It looks like Night Stalker in a lot of trouble trying to run himself out, but Pycat's got his eyes on the prize. They'll turn back around. They'll focus their attention over onto Sand King, going for that ultimate, following up with an Ice Blast. And they'll have to use the Mirana ulti for their escape here.
Team Dire is just so tanky. They've got a pipe on Death Prophet. They've got a mech on the Darkseer. He's working on Greaves, so he's going to be even harder to kill. And I don't know how you kill anybody without committing literally everybody to one person at a time and then just turning a 4v5 fight around. That's like their best option.
I mean, they're going in for these ganks, and unfortunately they're not proving to be very fruitful for the side of Starboyz here, because they jumped over onto Zai, but immediately, you know, was followed up with the rest of the team and just Pycat running around. You don't really think of Lifestealer being someone who sits in the back, but while all that attention is being placed over onto that Darkseer, you just see Lifestealer shredding people apart in the back. In the front, technically, I guess? I don't know. Depends on which way you're viewing the
yeah, and I mean, he's only going to get scarier. He's got the Diffusal Blade queued up, which means that, you know, Flame Guard, gone. Are you running away from me and I don't have open wounds? Too bad. You get Diffusal charged. Like, not a lot of Lifestealers will opt to go for this item. They'll usually go for, like, Echo Saber or, like, Desolator, but I really like the Diffusal Blade, especially against the Everspear, because, like I said, Flame Guard,
they were looking.
I'm just going to punch it off.
Things are coming out.
He's got a Remnant. I don't think they kill him.
I don't know. There's immediately the ultimate coming through. Yeah, that's a dead Ember Spirit. And you just got the Caster's Curse.
I sure did. I had faith in the Ember Spirit, but I mean, if you just start with ulti and you don't give him a chance to see the charge coming, yeah, you're gonna die. And the extra bash didn't hurt either.
Oh boy, Night Stalker on the wrong side of the tracks here. Does throw out the silence, but runs away. They don't really want to deal with that, and they'll actually go for the Roche. They know that they're in there, and they don't care.
You can't run into level 2 Exorcism. You just can't. End of sentence. There's no way that this works out well for anybody. But, I mean, it looks like they're going to try. They've got Blink there. They know they're in there.
They gotta move. They gotta move. Oh, they actually grab PPD right away. This is going down really fast, so can they get it? Looks like, yeah, Pycat will be able to grab himself the Aegis. They're just a little bit too late to come in there. Beautiful wall vacuum over here coming out from Zai. Will chase off over the Disruptor. They throw out the Ice Blast over onto the Ember Spirit. Epicenter coming out, though, as well. They'll be able to go ahead, one player in place here, and it looks like the Night Stalker trying to get out, trying to get to a shrine maybe, but looks like Mirana, she's all frozen up, tries to leap, gets herself up top, very, very low. They just can't get to her in time.
Man, that was actually pretty close to being a decent fight, but PBD just, you know, he knows something's up. He can't see them on the wards that they have in the high ground, but he knows that they know something's going on, so he just walks right around the pit, sees somebody on the high ground, and sacrifices himself to secure the Roche, and they turn that and the tail end of Exorcism into an immediate really good team fight.
Another Ice Blast coming in. Looks like it's going to land on this Disruptor. Yep. Slam dunk. Glimpse comes back, though. They're able to grab the Spirit Breaker one more time and turn this into a kill.
Nice arrow.
Was it just me, or did they get... No, it looked like for a second that they got 322 gold off of that. Which made me laugh a little, not gonna lie.
That's
Ember Spirit wants to go in on this. We'll be able to land the Zing Chains over onto CCNC. There's a leap forward, but immediately going to be able to push herself up into the air. They get her caught in the cage. They'll turn around. There's a lot of damage coming out. Can they burst her down? They will actually be able to take down the Death Prophet. So nice turnaround with that for the side of Starboyz.
Yeah, definitely a really key kill getting CCNC. Every time they kill him, they get a huge influx of gold. That doesn't even, the fight recap doesn't even have Spearbreaker in it, and it's like almost 1,000 gold change just from killing CCNC.
Here's this Disruptor. He's able to throw some vision down over onto the side. They try to go over onto the Sand King. Looks like he's going to be able to get out. Oh, but that defusal, no, he's not. Ice Blast coming in, maybe just a little bit too far out here. And looks like they will be able to pop the Aegis. And then it looks like they're just going for the retreat. And they didn't get that tower either. Oh boy, Space Cow. He wants it. Jumps over onto the Mirana. Gets his ultimate off. There's another bash coming out. That's a very dead cat lady.
CCNC. Okay, if CCNC had bots, I'd actually say they lose racks there. But just regular TPs. So there's no racks to be lost here, but they might put a little pressure on the high ground. Probably just farm up.
I mean, Pai's just walking right into the base. Like, man, what is this?
Every time I try and figure out what these guys are gonna do, they're just like, you don't know anything about Dota.
And he's just gonna hang out here in this creep and then run himself away. They know he's there, but there's a lot of backup coming out. I don't think Night Stalker knew what he was in for here. The bashes, they were able to get the epicenter off. Beautiful wall vacuum coming in as well, and they're laying down the static storm here. Looks like Darkseer in a little bit of trouble, but we'll be able to walk it off. And now the Ember Spirit, he can run, but he can't hide. They're gonna be able to take him down as well. Can our little Darkseer remain undetected? I'm sure he's sweating right now.
Nishinoya is just like using this observer ward for every ounce of information he can. I do not want to die is what he's saying. But yeah. CCNC in the top lane.
They use the exorcism. I don't know what they can do here. They really can't stop him.
Yeah, no buybacks on the Ember Spirit.
There's no epicenter. There's no static storm. Like, what do you even do? Rage comes out here. They go and they use the Mirana ulti. Maybe looking for the right opening.
Racks. Yeah, no, they don't.
They get a glimpse back, though, over onto Highcat here. Arrow will connect, but the rest of the team is going to group around him, try to protect. They go ahead. They go and use the ultimate over onto the Mirana. Mirana's putting out a decent amount of damage here. Looks like they're going to try to just back themselves out. They do have the Ember Spirit. He's looking for an opening. They grab PPD over here on the side, but the fight's kind of split up now. There'll be a glimpse back over onto Misery. He's going to get thrown over into the cage, and it looks like there's a lot of damage. Can they get one more hit over onto him? Burn him down maybe with that Flame Guard. Destroy actually going to be able to clean up. PPD also going to get taken down here, and now it looks like we're going to lose the Night Stalker. Yule's coming out here over on CCNC, going to try to buy himself some more time. Will turn himself back around, and they'll still go right back in. Yeah, they're going right back in. Here comes Pai. He's going to do some toggling here. Might be able to grab someone. Does get sped up a little bit with that Ion Shell. Just keep going back and forth on this. There's a nice Burrow Strike coming out, landing over onto CCNC and Zai. Zai going to try to run himself back, and surprise, it's a Life Stealer, the worst Jack in the Box ever to open up. Trying to get that kill over onto Mirana. Everything is just all over the place right now in this fight. Still giving chase over here onto Zai. Zai has been like the target of a lot of hate, and he's still alive. Like, look at that, he just punches him. Now Ember Spirit is like, yeah, I don't want this. There's the vacuum coming out, another Ion Shell coming. This creep is like, I'm helping, guys. Let's do this together. Yules comes out as well. Does land those chains over, but the Rage comes out from the Life Stealer. They're still able to take him down. My goodness gracious.
That fight lasted so long. They hovered in this area right by the like right outside the base for like a minute, just fighting back and forth. Like they kept, you know, oh, we're gonna retreat. No, let's go back in. Let's go back in. Okay, we gotta retreat. We gotta retreat. No, go back in. Go back in.
I mean, every time you thought the fight was over, all of a sudden you see just someone turn around and say, actually, no, I think we can do this. And I mean, it really worked out for them. That chase after Ember Spirit, like he really just did not like Zai at all. Chased him like Benny Hill music all through this jungle here, just like everywhere, and he was too tanky. He wasn't able to take him down. And then by the time like he finally chipped him down low enough for anything to really happen, the rest of the team was like, oh hey, yeah, let's go help our Darkseer. Come on guys, we'll go together. Let's get this creep. We'll throw an ion shell on him and he could chase him too, and it's gonna be a good time. So
oh
yeah,
what's that? You have no mana left? Yeah, we're gonna abuse that. Just a lot of like you said, Benny Hill music going around. And
there's a lot of chasing and some general silliness, it feels like.
The real question now is, you know, with the tier 3 down, how long can you delay before that next push comes, that next team fight comes, if you are team the Dire, not Team Dire, but Starboyz, the actual Dire.
Well, it looks like the next objective is to take down these shrines, and that will be able to help them secure Roche later on before they go high ground again.
Highcat's actually going for a Manta style, which is something you don't really see a whole lot of on Lifestealer, but it's actually okay because of the chains. It means you don't have to just burn rage every time you want to get rid of chains. The illusions don't benefit that much from the rest of the stats except for armor, but it's not a terrible item. The attack and movement speed's not bad. It's just he's got almost like what you would see on an agility core. Like he's got almost what you'd expect to see on like a Juggernaut. Manta diffusing.
I don't... You know, it feels like this game should be more even than it actually feels. I don't know, like, you know, they definitely have the advantage with towers going over here for Team Dire. Kills are pretty close, but again, that's not what wins the game of Dota 2 here. Spiritbreaker actually gonna just walk right by the Ember Spirit.
And with Exorcism up, they're just gonna group and take those racks. Tanking, you know, he's positioned up in this top
he's
lane.
Leaving.
He's gonna TP out.
He's leaving. They're checking that Roche pit though. They definitely want to make sure they secure this before they go high ground, I think.
They're gonna see it because it spawns in like 2 seconds. Oh, the Ice Vortex ran out.
We've got a Lifestealer bomb too sitting in the Spirit Breaker. It's gonna be a nasty surprise for whoever gets charged next. Yeah. In fact, there it is. They spot out over here on the side. We'll jump over onto Ember Spirit. He doesn't get time to do anything. Ice Blast comes out. Mirana ulti gets used.
The really interesting thing that I note about Misery as opposed to most other Spiritbreaker matches I've seen is if he has the chance, he will always initiate with his ultimate. Like he doesn't want to use charge except for as a follow-up to Nether Strike if he has the opportunity. It's really interesting to notice that, and that's how they're securing these kills on the Ember Spirit. Don't give him that chance of him seeing you run at him.
There's a jump right forward onto Mirana. Lifestealer bomb comes out here. Isn't quite able to finish up, but oh, what a beautiful vacuum into wall yet again coming out here from Zai. We just see this Lifestealer. He runs himself right through there. Doesn't seem too concerned. They take the top racks. And how much longer we have left on the Exorcism? Still a little bit time left, but all of a sudden it's gone, and now we do lose PPD in the base. But the rest of the team just disengages. They're happy with taking the tower and the racks, and just go back to their farming.
They're executing their draft perfectly. Every time Exorcism is off cooldown, they're just initiating a fight, initiating a push. And so in 85 seconds, we're going to see the exact same thing, but probably either down bottom or down mid. I would imagine down bottom because it's a little easier to siege, but the story doesn't change, or the destination doesn't change the story of just we're going to push when we have Exorcism. There's nothing you can do about it.
So, Tier 1 mid diaries. Day 3, I think, now, after they've run down mid. They're going to get it this time, though. Now, I think the next thing they need to be really careful is not letting Team Dire get the Roche, because that's going to be high ground for sure, and I don't think they can really deal with it if they get into the base, honestly. I mean, this Disruptor's been doing some really beautiful cages into Static Storms, but it just hasn't really been enough.
Yeah, I mean, you have the control, you have the setup, but Epicenter, doesn't do enough damage as you scale later and later into the game, right? As you have now Greaves and Pipe and a Lifestealer who's just insanely tanky. Epicenter doesn't do enough damage, and at this point, Mirana doesn't do enough, and Ember's he hasn't been able to afford any damage.
Well, they know that the Disrupt is a problem because they go after him immediately. They do manage to murder him, take him down. He doesn't have buyback, but now it looks like Lifesteal has a lot of problems too. Gonna try to run himself out. That Spirit Siphon is slowing down way too much. He'll turn their attention now to the Mirana, be able to go ahead, use the vacuum back, pull her, use the Diffusal Charge as well, and now Ember Spirit is just gonna get taken down. There's the buybacks coming out in mass. We've got Mirana and the Night Stalker coming back to the
This might even be GG here.
This might be GG, yeah. If they are able to kill both the Mirana and the Night Stalker, Epicenter gets used over here onto the Darkseer, but it doesn't do much of anything to him. He's just too tanky. The charge coming in here from Misery just goes right past these towers. Ice Blast coming in does not quite connect over onto the Mirana. All these ghosts here doing a lot of damage. Everyone just dodges this arrow. They don't even really care. There's going to be, oh, the vacuum again with the silence. That's going to be a dieback for Mirana, and now looks like Night Stalker trying to get himself out. They're just going to follow him all the way back to the wall here. Spirit Siphon, all the slows in the world. He's gone. Godlike High Cat. The GG gets called.
Yeah, just a really clean execution of the draft from Team Dire. They knew exactly what timings they had to hit, how to hit them, and I mean CC&C got a little aggressive. We saw him get picked off top. We saw him in that like shrine fight where he just walks up the hill to where he knows his smoke just popped. But other than that, once I think you know, someone gave him the proverbial slap upside the head and was like, don't do stuff like that anymore. They just executed their draft. Every time this is off cooldown, we're taking an objective, whether that be Roche or towers.
All right, well, that was game number 1 of our best of 3 series. The Dire takes their first game. We will be back with game number 2, guys, so stick around.